Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, for many, the holidays are a time of joy, but for others, it's a really tough time of year. Here to share how we can help friends and loved ones who may be experiencing the holiday blues, we welcome back neuropsychologist Sanam Hafeez. Good morning, Sanam. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm so happy to be back on with you.
Thank you. So let's talk about the blues versus depression and what the difference is.
Well, I think holiday blues are a real thing. I think, your producer and I were talking earlier. We have like this idea of what a Hallmark Christmas would look like, and it's not realistic, but it doesn't keep you from dreaming. So I think a lot of people have expectations that are not realistic. I think moms especially struggle because they have to get gifts for everyone. They might be hosting. They have to figure out budget constraints. So it's not all fun and games, but we're trying to make it nice for our family, especially our children. I think especially right now, I think this is probably one of the heaviest Christmases or holiday seasons I remember in a long time, just because of what's happening in the world. You can't turn on social media, see children dying, and then go about your business like nothing happened.
Right.
So it's very, very hard. But I think that holiday blues aside, if you know that you have a friend or a family member who may be struggling more because they lost their job, they just had a breakup, they lost a loved one, they're prone to depression, they're alone. You want to reach out to them because you never really know how much someone is struggling.
Right.
A big part of the holidays is really being there for people.
Yes.
It's really about the gifts. It's really about truly loving someone, forgiveness, acceptance, and embracing people who don't have as much as you do.
Absolutely. And you also talk too, it's got to be tough for the people who are newly divorced or widowed.
It is, those are the people who feel it the most, right? You might have had a terrible relationship, but when it's the time for the holidays, you start seeing everyone with and everything with rose-colored glasses.
Right.
And you might get old pictures and videos and doubting yourself and feeling bad about things that you might have done, or I wish things had turned out differently. And that can also be very hard, right? Living in nostalgic regret can be a very difficult place. If you're prone to alcohol use, drug abuse, those things have a way of going up because you keep convincing yourself it's okay, it's the holidays.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're back where you didn't want to be. So I think there's so many layers to this. Yesterday, I filled out a Secret Santa for my office, and it said, what would you like to get, like a favorite gift? And I said a donation to Save the Children. I truly think that altruism, donation, charitable work can take the focus off of your own life, remind you how fortunate you are.
Right.
When you give, you feel so good. And isn't that truly the purpose?
That's the spirit. Yeah, that's the spirit right there, right? And then what if you have a friend who's busy? They own their own business. They're running around. This has got to be a tough time for them too because they've got a lot of things to do.
Here, right
Yeah,
there.
I figured.
So yeah, I mean, listen, work doesn't stop. The end of the year is a very tough time for people who own businesses. You've got taxes, you've got bonuses, you've got either them coming in or going out. You've got planning to do for next year. And not to mention, no one has a perfect family.
Right.
People have a lot of stuff going on. Even if you're in a great place, you might have a family member who's not. And, a lot of people are really kind of, okay doing their own thing. But those of us, especially as moms and women especially, feel the need to take on everyone, and everyone's our village, and it can be a very trying time.
Also, too, speaking of taking on things, you've got the friends or relatives who are the caretaker of an elderly parent or relative, and they're dealing with a lot this holiday season.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have an elderly parent that lives with you, if you have an elderly parent in a nursing home or someone who is sick, who might be close to the end of life, it's hard to celebrate the holidays, but by the same token, you want to spend, one more holiday with someone you love, but then you've got celebrations at home or people vying for your attention. How do you split that time? And those are real logistics, right? Like driving around, splitting up your day, not to mention time off of work, not to mention your children's demands. So it can be a lot more trying than, social media or ads and TV leads us to believe.
Oh, yeah. And then you touched on this, but the substance abuse, you've got someone who may be recovering from substance abuse, and this is when the pressure's on for them.
Yeah, substance abuse, alcohol use. I mean, not that these things come on because of the holidays, but holidays definitely have a way of not only triggering it, but making it a lot worse. Someone can really slip. Someone
Yeah,
who might have been sober, who might have been working, can really slip. And some other people may not know, right? Your family, you don't announce that sort of thing. So someone might be like, "Oh, come on, have a glass of champagne or have a drink," and they have no idea that they're really inviting you into a very dark place.
right. And then the kids of divorce.
The kids have divorced, the splitting up the children, and finding a resolution with your former spouse or former partner is very, very tough because no one's trying to be difficult. Everyone just wants to spend time with their children. And how do you do that in a fair and equitable way? How do you make sure that your children remain the focus of?
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. We want to tell everyone we'll put all the information on our website at katu.com. Sanam, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be
Happy
right.
holidays.
Same to you. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.